presents the Comcast High School Game of the Week. This week's matchup, the Stevenson Patriots against the Fenwick Friars. Welcome to the Aquatic Center on the campus of Stevenson High School in Lincolnshire, Illinois, everyone, as we get ready for the Illinois High School Association State Championship game in boys water polo between the Patriots and the Friars. Hi again, everyone. I am Perry Williams. Thanks for joining us here in our Comcast Game of the Week. It's been a busy couple of days here at the Aquatic Center. They had the state quarterfinals yesterday, the semifinals in water polo earlier today, and tonight it's all on the line with the championship game itself. Let's talk about the two teams in the finals, the Stevenson Patriots and the Fenwick Friars. Starting with Stevenson, this is their home pool, but on the scoreboard they will be considered the visitors. They come with a record of 25-6. Now they finished third in the state the last 2 years, so they want to win it all this time around. One of the players to watch for Stevenson here tonight, keep your eye on number 21, Steve Mikulau. He is an impressive scoring machine, the co-captain, the senior for the Patriots, coming off a 4-goal performance in their thrilling semifinal victory over the Latin School of Chicago. So that's a look at the Patriots. Now let's talk about the Fenwick Friars. The Friars won the state title itself just 2 years ago, knocked out last year by Brother Rice. The Friars with a record of 34-1. Their one loss in the regular season to Brother Rice, the eventual state champion a year ago. Well, they knocked off Rice in the quarterfinals yesterday, and they beat New Trier in the semifinals earlier this morning to reach the title game yet again. Now, they have a lot of offense to the Friars, and they're led by Chris Parolin, number 4. He has scored more than 90 goals on the season. He'll be playing college water polo at Santa Clara in California, one of several talented offensive firepower and spark plugs you'll see for the Friars here tonight. So there you have it. It's Stevenson against Fenwick, and we have an expert analyst for you as well, and that's Garen Kopecki, a water polo enthusiast and expert here on Comcast. So our championship game moments away right here on the Comcast Network. Welcome back, everybody, here at Stevenson High School. The boys state water polo championship match is about ready to commence as the Stevenson Patriots will go against the Fenwick Friars with the state title on the line. Hi again, everyone. I am Perry Williams, and we are proud to be joined by Garen Kopecki to my right. And Garen, you're very familiar with this pool, and you've been involved with water polo for many years on the national and international scale, but also here in Illinois. And this is an exciting time for these young athletes.
Well, I got to tell you, Stevenson High School has come a long way in the last few years with water polo, and they've been third the last 2 years in this tournament. They're kind of set up here as the underdogs, but because they got the home court advantage, I think they have a real opportunity here to make some waves against Fenwick.
Well, we should say that these teams did meet once during the regular season, and that was a thriller where Stevenson lost, but in overtime, just by that 1 goal.
Well, you know, if nothing else, that gives them a huge amount of confidence going into this game. They know they can play with this team, and even though Fenwick has the track record in terms of state championships, this year in particular, Stevenson really feels like, you know, they can play with these guys.
Now, both these teams, of course, the adrenaline's going to be going, but they did play their semifinal matches earlier in the day. I know they're young and they're athletic and in shape, but still, you always wonder how much a drain there will be playing 2 intense matches in one day.
Yeah, you know, we might not see that in the first and second quarter, but that certainly will play a role going down the stretch.
Oh, and we are underway, 7-minute quarters, and the ball is controlled by the Fenwick Friars. And there's Calderon, Oscar Calderon, who's a junior co-captain for Fenwick. Now into the slot. And here's Parolin with it.
They called the ball underwater, and it's a turnover.
There's your Stevenson goalie, all-conference, North Suburban Conference, George Renfrew. Gets it ahead to Leganoff, and Allen dishes off to Allen. Another stoppage of play. And you hear that whistle, but the clock still does continue. And a save, our first shot of the game, as Ivan in net for Fenwick makes the save. And Mikulau, the shooter. Mikulau is very, very impressive. He is, as we mentioned in the open, coming off a 4-goal performance in their thrilling win over the Latin School out of Chicago, 8-7 in the semifinal. No score just underway here. The state championship match between Fenwick and the dark hats. And we have a goal, our first goal of the game, and it is by Kisiak. Kevin Kisiak puts the Friars on the board. 1-0, just about 53 seconds in. Let's take a look at it.
Looks like Stevenson was playing a little bit of a slough defense there to protect the whole set, and it kind of got him burned that time.
Kisiak can also put it in the net very well. In fact, in that semifinal win, he had a couple of scores against New Trier. Shot goes awry, and the Friars will have it, and even will move it up. I guess you can't say up court. It's up pool, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
Advance it anyway. Tracking that one down was Kisiak once again. Has the ball. Couple more fakes. Kisiak scores again! Kevin Kisiak, who'll be attending the Naval Academy next year, scores 2 quick goals for the Friars. And if you've never seen water polo, those goals can come in bunches.
Well, you know, once again, Stevenson got caught laying off the guy with the ball, and that's an area where Fenwick's always going to beat you.
And they tried to, almost like a tip-in to Kalachi in front, went over the net. There's a 35-second shot clock as they have to at least get some type of shot opportunity.
There's the kick out they just fouled in the whole set, so Fenwick will now be up 6-on-5 for 24 seconds.
Another opportunity for the Friars. Shot goes wide. Already leading 2-0. Right toward our Comcast cameraman extraordinaire, Frank Granito. As Stevenson trying to get on the board. 2-0, but it's, of course, very early. As you mentioned, these goals can come in bunches. And sometimes, and we've enjoyed them here on Comcast, some real high-scoring games.
Well, you know, and Stevenson has the firepower, as you just saw. They got guys that can shoot.
Mikolau, though, hits the post that time. And an opportunity now for Stevenson. Good look at the goalie, Dan Evon.
I think Stevenson's looking to settle down a little bit, try to get into their main offensive set.
Here's Mikolau again. The skip shot opportunity once again hit the top of the crossbar. That's one of my favorite plays in water polo, when they use the skip pass or the shot.
Yeah, the tough part on that is you never know exactly how high the ball's going to skip off the water.
That time it hit the crossbar up high.
There's another ejection. Fenwick now will have a man advantage again.
And working it around, being very patient with the man advantage. Now, opportunity in the corner, the skip pass goes in for a goal. Now it's 3-0 Fenwick. And that time it's Luke Baldwin, the freshman, who scored more than 50 goals this season.
They did a great job that time moving the goalie across the cage.
Yeah, Renfrew really didn't have much of a chance because he was going back and forth, as you mentioned, and they were very patient. So a 3-0 lead for the Friars. I mentioned the quarterfinal win over Brother Rice, 10-7. They beat New Trier 12-8 in the semis. In front, trying to get a shot off. Good defense in front.
That was good, solid defense.
Fenwick showing a lot of poise here in the early going. They lost in the sectional finals last year. To St. Patrick. But avenged that defeat this year to reach the state tournament. They play the quarterfinals on Thursday, semis Friday morning. The quarters on Thursdays for the boys.
Right.
And then the semis in the morning, and then the championship game here tonight on the Saturday.
Well, you know, with only one loss during the regular season, they're certainly showing a lot of confidence right now.
They lead at 3-0. We have 3:20 remaining here in the first quarter. and they're really operating at all cylinders. Defensively, they're doing a nice job in their own end. And then you get a chance to talk to both coaches.
Yeah, you know, Fenwick really was focusing on defense. In fact, both teams were focusing on defense as the primary key to their success. With Fenwick, however, there's a couple of big shooters on Stevenson, one of them being Mikolau, the other one being Alan Luganov. Fenwick really felt like if they can shut them down, they'd have a good shot.
And there's a nice save by Renfrew in net.
Very nice sweep shot. The goalie was in the perfect position, however. When I talked to the Stevenson coach, they are all over the defensive strategy as well. But Fenwick has more firepower in terms of a true team offensive game. They're a very high counterattack team. Here's the sweep shot. Looked like it went off the goalie's face.
Oh, that would hurt. I tell you, these water polo, I've never seen that. We talked a little bit before the game started. You see these young athletes, when they get out of the pool, boy, there's good thing not sharks in the water, because sometimes there's blood, there's scratches. It's a very physical sport, and they have to be in outstanding physical condition.
Yeah, fortunately, you don't feel that until after the game's over.
Right. Well, you're concentrating on the shot goes over the net. Stevenson out.
As I was saying, Fenwick really has an awesome counterattack, and as the game goes on, they show some of their conditioning, and it's important for Stevenson to try to keep that counterattack in check, to keep this game in check.
They lead it, does Fenwick 3-0 here with just over 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
There's an ejection.
So now Stevenson will have a man advantage.
In the semifinal game, Stevenson was struggling somewhat with their man up. Let's hope that, there they go.
And there's a score. Connecting is Mike Hall, the junior, puts the Patriots on the board. So there you have it. They took advantage of the man up.
Well, looks like they practiced that in between games, and they got their strategy straight there. That was a great shot cross cage.
Take another look at it, and you'll see Mike Hall take his time, set, fire, and score.
Nice strong legs up high, cross cage shot.
Here's Melnick, who can also score effectively for the Friars, number 20. Now he puts it down low. It's taken away by the Patriots on defense. And here comes Stevenson, finally on the board, trailing 3-1, 1:40 remaining in the first quarter. They go ahead and trying to find Turchin. Here's Mike with it now. Back to Allen. Allen now in the center. Laganoff is there. Now to Mikolau. Mikolau. Hey. And another score for Stevenson. Damon Smith scores off the rebound.
Impressive. Going to the net on the shot. Right there for the rebound to clean it all up.
So just like that, the Patriots back in it. It's now Fenwick 3, Stevenson 2. 1:25 remaining here in the first quarter. Here come the Friars now on the attack. So as you mentioned, Stevenson has to find some other people to answer if they're going to focus on Laganoff and Mikolau, and Hall and Smith both have connected. Here's the second one.
Steve obviously came into this game thinking he's got to take some shots, and he's been doing that, and that creates opportunities for other folks.
Another Stevenson ejection. That will be on Turchin now. Another man advantage now for the Friars. And a skip goal goes in for Luke Baldwin, his second. It's almost the same play they did moments ago for the young freshman, his second of the night.
Yeah, he gets out nice and high again. They went cross pool with the ball. The goalie was caught out of position. It's hard to defend that.
So Kisiak with 2 goals. Now Luke Baldwin with 2, both on the power play. Fenwick 4, Stevenson 2. Here's Smith, who scored moments ago. Hall now being pestered at the mid-pool.
And Steve Mikolau is working hard in the whole set there, trying to get position in front of the net.
10 seconds left in the shot clock. Now back to action. And it's blocked effectively, nicely done by Bill Dunlop. Fenwick with an opportunity. Shot clock is off inside now. 25 seconds remaining in the quarter. 4-2 lead for the Friars. Taking their time, trying to set up their offense. Nice pass ahead to Bonk. Or check that, that's Klotz.
Ejection there.
Another ejection. Then Parolin was the one causing the trouble. Here's Parolin again with it, and he is denied. A nice save by Renfrew. As the first quarter comes to an end, a very entertaining and solid first quarter in their state title game as Fenwick leads it at the end of one by the score of 4-2. You're watching the State Boys Water Polo Championship game exclusively right here on Comcast. Welcome back, everybody. You were looking at the Aquatic Center, the site of the 2004 State Water Polo Championships. At the end of one quarter of play, Fenwick leads the Stevenson Patriots by the score of 4-2. I am Perry Williams, joined by Garen Kopecki. As you look at the huddles, and Fenwick with the black caps, they are considered the home team here, even though Stevenson, it is their pool. And they jumped out to the 3-0 lead. Stevenson cut it 3-2, and then Fenwick answered. Goals in that first quarter by Kosicki and Luke Baldwin gives them the 4-2 lead. And there you see some of the words and comments by both coaches to their respective teams as we get ready for the second quarter play. Any initial comments on the first quarter?
Well, you know, I got to think Stevenson can't feel too bad about that quarter being down so early by 3. They could have easily kind of kept up that kind of lackadaisical play, but they really stepped in and brought themselves right back into a position to compete now for the rest of the game. I think 4-2 is very respectable with this, the way it started.
Yeah, it looked like, you know, Fenwick had everything going there. A good look at that outstanding goalie for Fenwick, Dan Evon. 5'9", 145 pounds, a senior. The toss in and controlled by the Patriots. By the way, this is the second quarter, and for the second half, the teams will switch sides. Mike Hall with it for the Patriots. Gets it ahead now to Westrich. Back to the other side they go. Tracking it down is Turchin. Mike has it now.
Again, a lot of whitewater going on in front of the net.
And that time shot it high across the net, and Even will throw it in for the Friars.
Yeah, the good news for Stevenson is they've been able to shut down the counterattacks by Fenwick, and that's one of the weapons that Fenwick likes to showcase in these games.
A deflection, but it has stopped just shy of the net. Here come the Patriots back the other way. Hall with it. Moving ahead. Here's Mikolau. Mikolau trying to go down low to Damon Smith.
The crowd reacting to that.
Yeah, didn't like the call.
Steal, or almost steal.
Turchin with it. Now it's taken away that time, but talk about steal. Parolin has it. We talked so much about his scoring, but he can certainly do the job on the defensive end as well.
Well, you know, Fenwick plays a combination of a press and also a drop kind of a defense. And they kind of move in back and forth between those two defenses almost continually throughout the game. It keeps the offense on the other side off balance.
Now knocked out of the hand. Nice job defensively that time by Kisiak. Here's Kevin now. Drops it back to the goalie, Ivan. Parolin. Over to Dunlap on the far side. Well, far side for us anyway. Across the way from our camera angle. Now dumps it in the middle. Boy, there's always some battles going on in front of the crease.
Oh, they just called an offensive foul, turnover on the drive by Parolin. Looks like he pushed off a little bit on this drive.
These officials really have to keep an eye on some of the goings-on, especially in front of the net, because they're, as you mentioned, a very physical sport.
Well, as the closer you get to the net, the more jockeying for position there is, and lots of white water being churned up in that zone.
Right. Shot on the save.
That was Turchin, I believe.
Yep, it was Turchin trying to fire away.
He's got a good shot. That one just happened to be in an area where the goalie guessed right.
Back the other way, here's Baldwin. Now Dunlap trying to get in low to Calderon. Oscar. There's Mark Melnick.
A skip shot that
didn't
go where he intended it to end up anyway.
Melnick with 3 goals against New Trier.
Stevenson's got to work a lot harder on the perimeter here to protect that ball.
Here's an opportunity. Here's Hall. Now into the corner. Centers it in front. The battle for the ball, and finally coming out with it is Kisiak. Kevin now dishes it back defensively to goalie Ivan.
Fenwick generally doing an impressive job, just being very aggressive on defense.
4 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Oh, an opportunity in front for Peril, and just could not reach it.
Right off the fingertips. That's a pass I'm sure the passer wish he had back to try again. Just a little too high.
Now, Chris is 6 feet. I think if he was 6'1" or 2, he would have gone there. And here's Damon Smith, who has the second goal for the Patriots in the game. Defensively to steal, coming up with it, Oscar Calderon.
Great anticipation on that move. Jumped in front of Steve just as the ball was being released.
Now Perlin in front. Calderon gets the goal. Oscar Calderon, a nice give and go. Fenwick scores again. It's 5-2.
That was a nice drive, nice pass.
And Stevenson will take a timeout. Timeout, Patriots. Let's take a look at this pass. They did a nice job, kind of the old give and go, and here's the finish.
He got paid off for his efforts driving down the lane. Had a nice open shot, as they call one-on-one on the goalie. If they all could be that close to the net.
Here's how Fenwick reached the state championship game. And in the sectionals, they defeated Rolling Meadows, then York, relatively easily. Then, as we mentioned earlier, that sectional championship game over St. Patrick's, a team that has defeated them last year, so they won that one 11-5. And then that big showdown with Brother Rice in the quarterfinals. As you mentioned, 10-7, 2 traditional powers in water polo. And Rice, the defending champion, so knocked them out and avenged their loss a year ago in the sectional title game, or actually, that's the quarterfinals. And then New Trier in the semifinals.
Well, you can't say Fenwick didn't earn their right to be here.
Right.
They certainly went through the considered other top teams in the state.
Nice crowd on hand, as you might mention. Let's take another look from our award-winning Comcast crew. Another look at that last Fenwick goal. And there's playing baseball outside as well on a beautiful day. As don't forget, but anyway, that's the score is 5-2. So Stevenson, which fell behind 3-0, closed it to 3-2, but now consecutive goals by Fenwick has given them that 3-goal cushion yet again.
You know, generally Stevenson's been playing fine defense. They've been playing very aggressive against the whole set. Fenwick's been a little bit frustrated trying to do what they want to do. But I got to give Fenwick credit. You know, they keep driving and keep coming at you, and they keep looking for that opening.
Dave Austin, you saw a look at him, his 3rd year here. They won 3rd place last 2 years, beating St. Viator and then Loyola, your alma mater.
Yep.
For 3rd place last year. I'm glad you've gotten over the bitterness of that.
It took a while.
Yep. But they're the answer.
Steve Mikolau. Beautiful
so Steve Mikolau on the board. So the timeout pays dividends. And Mikolau, as we mentioned, the co-captain, the senior and the top scorer for the Patriots, gets his first goal of the game. Makes it 5-3.
That was a beautiful look-away backhand shot. from about 5 meters out. One of the harder shots in water polo, hits the corner with his back to the net. Very impressive.
They have to practice that shot a lot, don't they? It is very impressive indeed. Fenwick now with it. Melnick back over to Calderon.
What's he going to do?
Fires it wide to the left.
In many cases, when you're left with that kind of a shot with the clock shot running down, you want to get the goalie just to tip it. So you throw it high and wide, hoping the goalie tips it out of bounds to get the ball back with a new shot clock.
Tracking it down is Westrich. Here's Brad. Has it. Looks back out front to Hall. Mike gets it back now to Allen. Now 13 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Fenwick was playing in their man-to-man, then they dropped back into a drop.
And the shot goes wide to the goalie's left.
Generally frustrating the Stevenson offense.
2 minutes remaining here in our first half of the state championship game. 2004 IHSA Boys Water Polo title game. Right here on Comcast. And Stevenson trailing 5-3, but with an opportunity here inside 2 minutes. Forward it goes. This time Allen has it. Here's Kevin. Another stop in front. Wasn't quite sure he meant to skip that or not.
Well, I'm sure that's a shot he wished he never took.
Right. And a save in front. And it gets away off the shot by Luke Baldwin, going for the hat trick.
Hey, I tell you what, nice play all around. Offense set it up beautifully. The goalie had a wonderful save.
And it's tipped out of bounds, so it will be Stevenson in control. Let's take a look at it. And the action in front of the Patriots net just moments ago. Keep it a 5-3 score. Fenwick in the lead. Into the corner. Hall back now to Westrich. Trying to go inside.
Once again.
Stolen away.
Again, Fenwick with the great anticipation, getting around the whole set as coming in.
That's 2 or 3 times they've done this here in the first half.
Good aggressive defense.
45 seconds remaining in the first half. There you see the game clock above our scoreboard there. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Calderon in front.
Nice turn.
Battle for it. Stevenson has it.
A wonderful turn. And then the ball just floated away. He lost control of the ball.
Here's Hall. Fighting for it in front. Mikolau. And a score! Turchin scores from outside, and the Patriots back within 1.
There's that strong shot he's got. You leave him loose, he'll torch it. That's one of the guys that Fenwick was hoping wouldn't come through in those shots.
Final seconds of the first half. And the Friars. One last shot taken by goalie Ivan, and it is stopped by his counterpart of Stevenson, Renfrew, as the first half comes to an end in the state championship game. And at the end of our first half of play, your score, Fenwick 5, Stevenson 4. You're watching the State Water Polo Championship game for the boys, exclusively here on Comcast. Welcome back, everybody, as we get ready for second half action. That's what they're playing for here, the State Championship in Boys Water Polo 2004. I'm Perry Williams, along with Garen Kopecky. Great to have you with us here on Comcast. Our game of the week, the Fenwick Friars leading the Stevenson Patriots 5-4 here at the Aquatic Center at Stevenson High School in Lincolnshire, Illinois. Fenwick with the ball to start the second half. They jumped out to that quick 3-0 lead in the game, and the Patriots have battled back within 1. Here's goalie George Renfrew with it, the senior. Now Hall. Back over to Allen. Well, as you mentioned, Fenwick with a record of 34-1 and so powerful and state champions just 2 years ago. You just never know.
Oh!
And the game now is tied.
Very nice sweep shot by Steve Mikolau.
Mikolau, his second goal of the game. Let's take another look at it.
He's working hard in there and just sweeps the ball right on the water. Dribbles into the corner.
Ties the game at 5. But Stevenson kept their poise. Of course, as you mentioned, this is kind of their home pool, although on the scoreboard they are considered the visitors, but
they have to feel pretty good about themselves.
Right. They hung, but here's Fenwick, comes back and regains the lead. Nice touch pass, Kissiak, his 3rd goal of the game.
Set him up beautifully. Very nice pass. Nice tip into the net. Goalie kind of caught again. Hard to react to that kind of a shot.
That misdirection awfully hard. Now Mikolau with it. And Mikolau dumps it down low. For Luganov has been pretty quiet. They've done a nice job defensively on Allen.
Very much so. Look at this.
What a shot and a goal by Turchin, his 2nd. Ties it at 6.
I tell you, that was one heck of a shot.
Boy, what an angle, and he got the bounce on the inside post.
Looks like he kind of sidearmed it a little bit. Skipped it off the water, off the post. You can kind of sense Stevenson's confidence growing up a little bit here.
Yeah, defensively now, Mikolau dumps it back to goalie Renfrew. And ahead they go. Stevenson has never led in this game so far. We're tied at 6. Now taken away defensively by the Friars, and even has it. Ahead to Oscar Calderon, the co-captain for the Friars. Melnick.
Here comes the driver. Nice defense to not allow that pass in.
15 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Stevenson's playing kind of a drop defense.
Now some of those pump fakes, a shot, and it's tipped away. And it will be Fenwick possession. And they'll restart the shot clock, fresh 35 seconds. Coming right in. And the shot taken by Tom Parolin. But stop there as Stevenson will go on the attack offensively. Ahead they go with Hall. Hall has it. Wants to go to Mikolau. Mikolau shoots and scores! Steve Mikolau now has 3 goals, and Stevenson leads for the first time in the state championship game, and a timeout Fenwick.
Well, you know, that time Fenwick's strategy kind of backfired on him. The guy came around to try to take that ball away, and Steve got to the ball first, was able to get a wonderful position in front of the net and just put it away.
Well, we talked about in the first quarter, he had a couple shots that hit the post, and they were doing a nice job defensively, but now they have taken the lead. Here's how the Patriots take a look at the Patriots bench, feeling a little better now. They now lead for the first time in the game, 7-6. There's the Friars getting an enthusiastic talking to. And you need water when you're in the water. Well, here's the road to the finals here for the Patriots. First round bye. Then they defeated Vernon Hills, and then they're kind of their nemesis from the North Suburban Conference, Mundelein. The Mustangs always tough in water polo. Then they reached the state tournament, and they defeated Naperville Central, a team they lost to just a few weeks ago. That was in the state quarterfinals on Thursday. And as we mentioned, the Latin school out of Chicago, a thrilling 8-7 victory in the semifinals this morning.
Another school Stevenson lost to earlier in the season, so again, they earned their right to be here as well.
So back to action. I'm Perry Williams, and great to have you with us here on Comcast. And here we go. As the third quarter continues, we have cameras all over. As you might have mentioned, or imagine rather, here for a game of this importance, Comcast putting our A production team together.
Ejection, Stevenson ejection. Now Fenwick gets a man up.
And that's our first man up here in the second half. Calderon with it. Looking to tie now. Back the other way.
Again, cross cage.
And hitting the post.
Couldn't put it away this
Carolyn.
time.
Now Luke Baldwin doing battle there. Baldwin has it.
That shot was set up just like the others. He just hit the post.
Here's Carolyn again, the other side. Oh, beautifully done. Tipped in by Kisiak. Kisiak now with 4 goals.
Real pretty pass. He got up real high. I tell you, he worked his legs hard to get up as high as he did to get that ball.
And a nice feed, too, by Carolyn. Nicely done. Ties it at 7. 3:54 remaining here in our third quarter. So taking advantage of that man advantage. Third time they've scored in such a fashion here tonight. Stevenson with it. Hall being hounded there by Klotz. Hall gets it back. Klotz drops defensively. A little drop off defense.
Fenwick's fronting the whole set.
And hitting the crossbar is Stevenson as the Friars have it back and they're on the attack.
That was kind of Fenwick's strategy there. Keep the ball out of the whole set, out of Steve Mikolow's hands. Try to force an outside shot, which they did.
Now showing good patience offensively. Melnick over to Kisiak. Kisiak, a big story here with 4 goals in the game.
Yeah, working hard.
A battle in front. Carolyn really battling with Allen there. Shot is stopped by Renfrew. There you see it tied at 7. Allen hounded there by Carolyn. I think Mikolow thought he saw a corner of the net that was open, but he fired it wide.
Fenwick playing more of a drop defense now to try to force those outside shots.
Well, they tried that tip pass or shot again, and back the other way. Opportunity for Stevenson, they score!
That's Alan Luganov.
Luganov, his first of the night, and the Patriots back in front.
That's one of the guys that Fenwick had to keep their eye on, and you give him an inch, he'll take it.
It's kind of a fast break, if you will.
Yep.
They moved it up quickly after the stop. Now here are the Friars. Real battle in front as continues. And a score! Carolyn ties it at 8. What a third quarter we have.
Just a beautiful cross cage pass. Again, the guy went up high, got the ball, fired it in.
Take a look at it.
As a goalie, it's almost impossible to block these kinds of shots when they go cross cage like that.
Two minutes remaining now in our third quarter. Tied at 8. Shot deflected as it just left the hands, and Luke Baldwin kind of knocked it away out of the hands of Hall. And here comes Fenwick. Carolyn. And throws it right in the hands of Mikolow. Here's Steve moving, looking for an opening. Finally dishes off to Allen. Allen gets ahead to Damon Smith, who scored the second goal for Stevenson here tonight. Turchin 10 seconds on the shot clock, and an opportunity with a steal taken there by Melnick. Now Mark has not gotten the board, but boy, he's done a nice job at times defensively, coming up with a steal there.
Nice rebound.
Kisiak has played really a strong game. 4 goals, get the rebound there. Don't forget, we'll have our Comcast Player of the Game interview after this, after the award medal ceremonies. Carolyn scores, and Fenwick back in front. Chris, his second straight.
He kind of just looked up, and the ball was right there in his hand.
Thank you very much.
Yep, I'll take it.
Take another look at it. Right in front of how much you can do.
Yep.
Smith with it in front. Trying to be looking off, and Nicolau tracks it down. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Allen's working hard in there now. See if they have any drivers here. 5 seconds.
5 seconds on the shot clock. They got to get the shot off.
He dumped it into the corner.
Nope. So Fenwick with 16.5 seconds remaining and a 9-8 lead with an opportunity. Ivan the goalie with it. We saw him at the end of the first half take a shot from just about that same place. Not as close as the first half shot was, but what a third quarter it was in the state championship game. Everything you would think a state title game would be and more. So at the end of 3 quarters to play, Fenwick leading Stevenson 9-8. You're watching the 2004 IHSA State Boys Water Polo Championship game exclusively here on Comcast. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Perry Williams along with Garen Kopecki. Great to have you with us here on Comcast as we are ready to start our 4th quarter. And the fans are on their feet. And there you see the situation. Fenwick leading Stevenson 9-8 in the state championship game of boys water polo. And what a third quarter that was. And you can just feel the excitement now for the 4th quarter.
I tell you, I'm tired after that corner. I didn't even play.
Yeah, you can just feel the tension, the excitement, the effort these young men have put forth here in this title game. Fenwick, a little tap back, has control. Calderon in front. Parolin, who had 2 goals, the tying and go-ahead goal for Fenwick in that 3rd quarter. Being hounded there defensively by Kevin Allen, doing a nice job.
Stevenson back in their press defense now.
Calderon gets ahead to Kisiak, who has 4 goals in the game.
Yeah, he's almost daring him to shoot.
Battle in front. Melnick was there. Melnick. Oh, and it almost deflected behind the goalie, but over the net. So a break for Stevenson. But Fenwick will have control. In the corner is Dunlap. Bill is looking to center, and he does so. The shot and the goal. You can't stop that. Mark Melnick scores, and Fenwick now leads by 2, 10-8.
There's that Fenwick driving attack again. They just keep coming in and coming in. You got to stay on your toes on defense. There he comes. He gets rewarded for his efforts. He gets the ball right in front of the net.
And a steal by Fenwick as Parolin comes up with it. And what an outstanding, as you mentioned, he's going to play collegiately at Santa Clara in California. And one thing you see the growth and the depth really increasing in water polo in Illinois. And the scholarships and the collegiate opportunities are starting to come more and more frequently for these water polos from the area, water polo players.
Great to see.
Calderon fires it wide. This is the third year sanctioned by the IHSA. But water polo has been around many, many years before that.
Even when I was in high school.
Yeah, back as my dad used to say, the Stone Age.
That's right.
But he referred to himself at the time. Now Stevenson trying to get on the board here. Knocked away defensively. And it will be Patriot ball in the corner. Fresh start of the shot clock. Turchin tried the lob shot. Too much air under it.
This is where you got to really watch Fenwick. They like to put their counterattack in high gear come fourth quarter. He just bobbled the ball there.
Well, we mentioned these two teams played earlier in the season, a regular season game, a tournament game. Went to overtime before Stevenson won it. Here's on the attack is Allen. Kevin drops it back to Luganoff. Allen looking ahead.
He should have been looking to shoot.
Yep.
And
that's too shallow on the skip shot. Right. Here it is, another look at it.
Skip shots are tricky. You never know how they're going to bounce off that water. Nice block.
George Renfrew, the goalie.
Good two-hand drop.
.423 remaining in regulation time. It is Fenwick 10, Stevenson 8.
Well, Stevenson's got to start trying to get more than those 7-meter shots.
Right, they're not showing a lot of ball movement. That was and a Stevenson timeout coming here. The Patriots, as you mentioned, maybe they saw something. They have to get a little more movement offensively.
They might be tired, but I think that's playing right up Fenwick's alley if they decide to just settle for those 7-8-meter shots. It's a good timeout. See if they can't take a rest.
There's speaking of taking a rest. We do that each and every week on Sports Weekly. Well, not really, folks. So make sure you, each week we have exciting sports highlights from across the Comcast coverage area. We have interviews with coaches, players, and fans, along with Dave Wills. Join me each and every week for Sports Weekly, Thursday nights at 6:30. And for additional showtime, simply just log on to www.comcastnetwork.tv. That's Sports Weekly, Thursday nights at 6:30 right here on Comcast. I have highlights of this game and a lot of others, and we're kind of fun in the spring sports, as we talked about earlier tonight. There's such a variety, as you'll see on Sports Weekly. They have badminton and lacrosse, and of course baseball and softball and water polo, boys volleyball.
It's good to be outside again.
Yes, it is. And I think what's good about water polo too is, you know, you have the swimming season, and some of these players are, of course, swimmers as well, but you have players from other sports as well. You look at the variety of bodies and which are needed. You have defensemen in front of the net, but it's a fun spring sport in the water that a lot of people can carry on.
Yeah, you know, water polo is a nice breather in a sense from swimming without having to lose your conditioning, I guess. But it's a good interactive sport. Obviously, it works you out pretty hard, and you know, water polo shape is, in a sense, a notch above being in condition when you're just swimming.
Right, it's a lot of different actually sports rolled into one. There's swimming, of course. There's a little like soccer, volleyball, basketball.
You need
wrestling.
It's aerobic, anaerobic.
Yep.
It's just pure strength. Ball handling skills.
So after that Stevenson Patriot timeout, here's Steve Mikulau. Mikulau with the ball, looking to center it in front. It's going for Westrich. Now Brad has it. Back across Poole. A little too high for Turchin. Still plenty of time. 3:50 remaining in regulation time. Here's Turchin with it.
Stevenson trying to reset their offense here with 10 seconds left.
Now Parolin, another steal by Chris.
Again, he anticipated the pass, was able to jostle right up in front of his guy as the ball was coming in.
Battle in front. Nice job defensively by Laganoff against a couple number 4s battling there.
Tough, tough defense. Excellent job by Allen.
Mikulau on it there by Calderon. Trying to. And here's the breakaway for Parolin. Here's Parolin on the breakaway for the Friars. Still with it and knocked away. Nice job by the Patriots getting back defensively.
Just that little bobble allowed the second defender to catch up to the play.
That was Westrich, as Laganoff was also giving chase. Here's Dunlap with it now for the Friars once again. 2:45 remaining.
Now you can see Fenwick swimming now. Trying to get that counterattack going.
And a huge save on the short side by Renfrew to keep it a 2-goal deficit for the Patriots with 2:25 remaining. Turchin.
Stevenson's looking a little tired, but they got to make something happen here.
Shot taken by Kalachi. Ryan, the co-captain for the Patriots. North Suburban All-Conference player. Now 2 minutes. Fenwick 10, Stevenson 8. After the wild third quarter, things have settled down somewhat in the fourth, but you can feel the intensity. And near goal just bounced out before it crossed the line.
That one kind of caught the crossbar, and
yeah,
a little bit too much of the crossbar, I guess.
Quarter of the way. That would have been big trouble for the Patriots. Minute 30 remaining. Mikulau. Mikulau with it again, takes a shot, score! Steve Mikulau now has 4 in the game, and it's Fenwick 10, Stevenson 9. Still plenty of time in the game. Let's take a look at it.
Looks like the goalie may have tried to catch this ball, and it kind of floated, skirted right through his hands. They teach you to try to block that ball and just push it down. It looks like he just tried to go for the catch.
I think his hands were wet. Imagine that. But actually a good point. Knock it down. Now back come the Friars. They have the 1-goal lead. 25 seconds on the shot clock. 1:16 remaining in regulation time. Battle in front. Parolin has had a big second half. And a steal by Laganoff. Here come the Patriots. Trailing by 1.
Here we go, gut check time. 1 minute left.
Laganoff, and a big save by Ivan, and net for the Friars.
That's the way to put the ball down.
30 seconds on the shot clock. A differential of about 19 seconds. Fenwick will use every second they can, leading by 1. Don't forget, we'll have the award ceremony, and after that, our Comcast Player of the Game interview.
4-meter shot. Carolyn got inside water with the ball. As the ball was knocked away, the defender was called for a 4-meter. Now they get a free shot in front of the net.
Here's Melnick. Melnick could really ice it. And he scores! Mark Melnick makes it 11-9 Fenwick. Stevenson will take a timeout.
Got to give Carolyn some credit on that play. He worked so hard in that hole set. There's the 4-meter.
Now you're Stevenson, you're down by 2. Not much time left. What can you do?
Well, you got to try to get the ball inside by the 2-meter man as fast as you can. You got to try to make something happen. And you can only do that if you're close to the net. So you got to try to get some driving going, get the ball close to the net, try to get a quick goal, tip in kind of a cross-cage goal, and then see if you can't get a steal.
Good look at Mark. They've had, to mention, Kisiak has had 4 goals. Luke Baldwin, the freshman, a couple on the power play. But Carolyn came up big with a back-to-back goals when they trailed by 1, tied it, and gave them the lead, which they haven't relinquished here in the 4th quarter. Here at Adlai Stevenson High School. Fenwick trying to win their 2nd in 3 years. State championship in Illinois, boys water polo. Great program. The girls team also involved in the state competition and the championship game. And there you see Mike Grusecki, kind of the co-coaches, I guess, if you will. Dave Perry is the veteran coach, has been there a long time, done a great job, and Grusecki a little more of the hands-on.
Mike's been a long-time player, knows this game as good as anyone around.
And they took the quick shot and went wide. Shot clock is off.
They got to scramble and try to chase the goalie here.
And they just get ahead to call their own. There you see the clock in the lower part of your screen. 10 seconds away from the state championship. Final seconds. And the celebration begins. The Fenwick Friars have won the 2004 IHSA State Boys Water Polo Championship with an exciting 11-9 victory over the Stevenson Patriots. Let the celebration begin in the pool. Back with the award ceremony right after this.
Very nice game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are poolside here at Stevenson High School in Lincolnshire, Illinois, as our state champions in boys water polo have been decided for the year 2004. The Fenwick Friars won a thriller 11-9 over the Stevenson Patriots. The teams lining up for the medal ceremony. There you see the Patriots, and they'll introduce them numerically as they did in the introductions. And we'll try to get each and every name for you best we can. But what an effort Stevenson had.
Hey, they got so much to be proud of. I tell you what, they gave Fenwick a real run for their money.
So, 3rd place finishes the last 2 years, 2nd place this year. What a program they're putting together here in Lincolnshire. There you see, you've been seeing a lot of action here over the years. The packed crowd on hand, and there's the athletic director here at the Stevenson High School, John Martin. That's Dave Austin, and now the assistant coaches do a great job. There you see the goalie, George Renfrew. Brian Mitchell, the second one. And Dmitry Simonov. There's Brian Hall, number 2. See Simonov walking by. There's Mike Hall, the junior. He'll be back next year. Damon Smith. And there's good looking number 4, Alan Laganoff. Jordan Loeb. He's a junior. Mike Webb coming up. Crowd looks on. Good look at Westridge. And then Webb. Fouled there by Steve Fabian, number 8. Steve is also a junior. Turchin, what performance he had all year and here tonight.
Lit up the cage a couple times there, real pretty.
Kalachi, number 12, Adolfo Acevedo. There's Kevin Allen. Strong performer, did a nice job at defense and managing a smile. Followed there by Kyle Seplin. Kyle, just a freshman. And Jeff Lessman, and then there's Steve McLeod. And what an outstanding athlete he is for the Stevenson Patriots, leading them to the state title game and putting them ahead for a while here in the second half. And there's the hardware, second place, 2004. The Stevenson Patriots in their home pool taking home that trophy.
The highest finish ever for Stevenson. They have a lot to be proud of. I'm sure we'll display that right outside this pool area.
Busy weekend here too with the boys gymnastics team doing so well in state tournament play. There's McLeod, and you hear the applause for the state champions out of Fenwick, the Fenwick Friars out of Chicago. They are the coaches, of course, got the traditional dunking in the pool. Michael Curtin, their athletic director for boys. There you see Dave Perry.
He may have to go out and buy a new trophy case soon.
Foul there by his assistant or co-coach Mike Krusecki. Now the other assistants do a great job. Don't always get the accolades some of the others do, but an outstanding job the assistant coaches do. Dan Ivan, and now being introduced there, the goalie. Fouled by Chris Jones. And John Barrett. They're a little different with their hats off.
Yep.
Paul Krusecki. Big hand for Chris Parolin coming up. There's Chris.
Battle wounds and all.
Yep.
You can see the scratches across his chest.
Fouled there by number 5, Bill Dunlop. Dan Hussey, number 6, a junior, he'll be back. Jack Wright in there, also a junior. Richard Butler. Tom Parolin, the younger brother. There's Jordan Zamdiski. And then he'll be followed by Oscar Calderon, the co-captain for the Friars. Matt Meyer. There's Dan Warlock, the sophomore. And Luke Baldwin, just a freshman, and boy, was he an opposing presence here tonight in the title game, scoring a couple of goals. Chris Bonk, a freshman. Paul Klotz. There's Bob Lopez. And Kevin Kisiak, what a game he had to be going to the Naval Academy. Mark Melnick, some big goals late, a great all-around performance. And Pat Lloyd. The Fenwick Friars, the captains will step forward and receive their trophy. Champions, State of Illinois, 2004 boys water polo. Congratulations to the Fenwick Friars. They win it here tonight. The final score 11-9. The award ceremony is concluded. Back with our Comcast Player of the Game interview right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Aquatic Center here at Stevenson High School in Lincolnshire, Illinois. Our final score in the state championship game. The Fenwick Friars win it over the Patriots 11-9. Hi again, everyone. I'm Perry Williams, and we're joined with our Comcast Player of the Game, Chris Parolin. And Chris, congratulations. You won the state title 2 years ago, but here you are back again. How does that feel?
It feels awesome. It feels probably better than the first one. Going out on top feels great.
You finished the season with just one loss, 35-1. Did you know it would be that kind of special a season coming in?
Definitely. We had a lot of guys coming back from the team that lost last year, and we were all hungry this year.
Now, you jumped out to an early lead, a 3-0 lead, but you played Stevenson earlier this year. You know they're a tough club, and indeed, that they not only came back, but they took the lead in the second half.
Right. The same thing actually happened earlier in the year, and they brought us in overtime. We won. So we wanted to make sure that we finished them off this time.
Now, what was in your thought process once Stevenson took the lead? Any kind of doubts or panic?
No doubts. I mean, I had confidence in my team. I had confidence in the things my coaches called, and we were really focused. We knew everything would work that we ran.
What's the secret of this Fenwick program? You guys are so strong, 2 titles in the last 3 years.
Definitely coaching. The kids are all willing to work hard. We do whatever the coaches tell us to do.
Now, you had a couple of goals tonight, but throughout this tournament, throughout the whole year, you have scored in bunches, but you also do a lot of the little things that really are effective. How much of that game do you work on?
Definitely a lot more. I mean, I know there's a lot of guys that can score, but I feel I have to be the leader of this team, knowing that I've been on 2 state title teams already. So it was my year to step up. I've had great leaders in the past.
Well, you're going to be playing collegiately in California. Good luck out there. Congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chris Parolin, our Comcast Player of the Game, the victorious Friars of Fenwick, champions of the state of Illinois 2004 in boys water polo. So that about wraps it up here for us, for our producer director here tonight, Andy Ziakowski, for our special analyst, Garen Kopecki, and our entire Comcast production team. This is Perry Williams saying thanks so much for watching, and so long, everybody.